Hello, this is Dr. Oz. Today I will be talking about inventory management, and it's an important concept because most of the company's cost goes to inventory because they need to tie significant amount of capital into their inventories. And this is chapter 12 in your textbook. So we would like to start with Amazon here, and Amazon started in 1994. And their current assets is over $100 billion. Their equity is $28 billion. They have more than 500,000 people working for Amazon. Again, probably these numbers will be changing while I'm presenting this, since Amazon is a very fast-growing company. And in 2017, Amazon bought Whole Foods for $13.4 billion. That's kind of a very big investment in actually brick-and-mortar stores, and that's a new phase in competition with Walmart and Target and other stores. All right, so Amazon.com started as virtual retailer, and they had no inventory. Basically, they were connecting the sellers with the buyers in an online platform. And growth forced Amazon.com to become world leader in warehousing and inventory management because, again, since they are handling millions of products every day, they better have a low inventory and have good inventory management system. All right. So each order at Amazon is assigned by computer to closest distribution center. And then there's a flowmeister assigns these at each distribution center, assigns these works to the crews. And technology, of course, helps a lot to Amazon to pick the correct items. And they want to have almost no errors. So they have, looks like 15 times, at least 15 times, they scan these barcodes and RFID tags to make sure that the labels do match. And then they create, arrive at center point where items are boxed and labeled in new barcode. And then they have, they are doing this gift wrapping by hand. Looks like they currently do 30 packages per hour. And then complete boxes are packed and taped, weighted, and labeled before leaving warehouse in the truck. And currently, Amazon delivers products in 1 to 2 days, and currently they are also delivering to your car. They are working on delivering with drones and so on. And so in this module, the learning objectives are: one, I would like to talk about ABC analysis, which is based on revenue. And then I will talk about economic order quantity models. And then I will be explaining reorder point and what's safety stock. And next, I will talk about production order quantity, which is EPQ. Instead of ordering EOQ, we will produce those products and see the cost. And then we will talk about quantity discount model. So if I order more products, how will it impact my cost structure? So inventory management, the objective of inventory management is to understand, to find the balance between inventory investment, and customer service, So the more inventory a company has, the more cost they will have, but they will have higher customer service, so customers will be happier. Again, we talked about at the beginning of this video, one of the most expensive assets for many companies, representing as much as 50% of total invested capital. So that's a big number, and it impacts our ROI, return on investment, quite a bit. So less inventory will lower the cost, but it will increase the risk or chances of running out inventories. And more inventory rises the cost, but always keeps customers happy. Okay. So functions of inventory: to provide a selection of goods for anticipated demand. Again, demand is something that's so hard for a company to predict. And we can basically be prepared for the fluctuations in the demand. So if the demand fluctuates a lot, with having inventory, I can supply products to my customers whenever the demand is so high, and that will eliminate the possibility of running out. To also, another function of inventory is that we can separate various parts of the production process. For example, if I have two processes, process one, process two, what if my production one is down for a couple days or a couple hours? Basically, if I have work in process inventory, I can get those semi-finished products into my process number two, so that there won't be any delays in terms of number of outputs. And also, it's important to understand that if we have inventory, we can buy more bulk quantities, and that we could enjoy the quantity discounts. And also, we can hedge against inflation, because especially in developing countries, inflation is a big factor. So if the prices are going higher and higher, and if I have inventory, basically that price going up won't impact my cost structure. There are different types of inventories. One is raw material. Basically, they are purchased inventory, but they're not processed. Two, we have work in process inventories. So we have some kind of change in the product, but it's not completed yet. Three, maintenance, repair, and operating, necessary to keep machinery and process productive. Okay. And finally, we have finished goods, which is completed product waiting for shipments. Cycle time is an important concept. So cycle time is what we call from input. We have input or inputs, multiple inputs, to output. So the time between this input till output is cycle time. So in between, we have a bunch of things happening for us. For example, we wait for inspection. You cannot just basically accept inputs in general unless you have perfect trust relationship with your suppliers. You wait and you inspect, and then once your inspection is done, you wait to be moved. And then once it's moved, you wait in the queue for the operator. And then there's setup time for machine. And then we have a runtime, processing time. So it's a basic system. And 95% of the cycle time is really not the runtime. It's all the other inspections and waiting and carrying and setup times and so on. Really only 5% in many cases of the time is value added, runtime, right? The rest of these things, we are not really adding any value to product. So next, I would like to talk about ABC analysis. So we divide here inventory into three classes based on annual dollar volume. It's simple, but it's, I think, great methodology to understand what's adding value to your company and what's not, and what's costing you so much money in terms of inventory holding costs. So class A is, these are type of products that have high annual dollar volume. Class B, medium annual dollar volume. Finally, class C is low annual dollar volume. Okay. So let's take a look at here ABC analysis. A items, they are in general 80% of my annual dollar revenue, and less than really 20%, around 10% of my inventory. So these items are very valuable. I gotta be very careful about them because I don't have many of them in my inventory, but they add significant value to my company in terms of revenue. B, as you see here, is around 30% of my inventory, but it only generates around 10-15% of revenue. And C items, they generate less than 10% revenue, and they are the majority of my inventory. So let's take a look at the ABC analysis here, numbers. So 20% of my stocks are these two products. 30% are these three products. And imagine that my 50% of my inventory is made out of these 5 products. And you can see the volumes here for sales volumes, quantity sold. Overall, I have 8,550 units sold. And you can see the unit costs here for each of these products. So if I multiply the unit cost and annual volume, basically I can get the column 5, which is annual dollar volume. So 1,000 times 90 will give me $90,000 revenue generation here. Here I got 77,000. Here I have 26,350. $15,001. $12,500. Here I have $8,502. $1,200. $850. Again, as you see, the sales volume is going down and down. $504 and $150. And if you add them up, total revenue is $232,057. And if you look at the percentages, really, if you divide $90,000 by $252,000, you will get around 38.8%. So around 40% almost of revenue, your revenue is really the first product. And the second one is around 33.2%. So if you add these values up, you see that 72% of your sales is generated by these two products. And only 23% of your revenue is generated by these 3 products, and only 5% of your revenue is generated by these 5 products. So that's why we classify this top 2 as A, B, and C products in our ABC analysis. So you need to put special attention here because they generate most of your revenue and only low inventory here in comparison to that. But B is semi-important for me, and C is not that important because I only generate $5 out of $100 revenue, but out of my $100 investments in inventory is $50. So it looks like I have so much inventory of C, but very, very low revenue generation. So let's take a look at the inventory models here. In inventory models, we basically consider holding costs, the cost of holding or carrying inventory over time. Ordering cost is the cost of placing an order. Whenever I order more products, I need to pay money for that, right? Or ordering costs. And then I have setup costs. So if I'm producing things, these are prepared machine or process for manufacturing an order, maybe highly correlated with setup time. So sometimes it will take longer time to set up for your new product. So let's take a look at the holding cost components. It's so hard to really calculate the holding cost in real life, but in this case, give an example, 26% of the value of the product is really holding cost. For example, 6% of the 26% is housing costs. We need to either build or depreciate what we have in terms of the building. There are some taxes related to that building, insurances, and so on with that building. So if I have to hold that inventory in my buildings, basically I need to keep that building running and depreciate it and so on. Material handle cost is around 3%. This includes equipment, so I need to keep the equipment running. I don't know, it could be C unit or some special care unit, whatever it might be, and I need to depreciate them, and I need to use power to operate them and so on. Also, to keep my inventory, I need to have labor. I need to receive them, sort them, warehouse them, keep security running, and so on. And investment costs, I'm borrowing the maybe money to really buy that inventory, or there may be some taxes or insurance and so on. And of course, also I have space for my inventory. So if you consider different types of costs, around 26% on average, but this number changed quite a bit based on the industry. So it's 15%, generally greater than 15%, but it can go higher numbers like 40% in fashion and technology companies, because the inventories become obsolete quite quickly. All right, so next I would like to talk about why do I build inventory models. Main reason is really to understand when and how much to order. So I need to understand these two questions. And in this class, I will talk about EOQ, economic order quantity models, EPQ, production order quantity models, and quantity discount models. That's it for this video. Until next video, enjoy supply chain management.